Hi, today let's see about Amazon S3 properties. So this is the bucket which I have created earlier and I have uploaded some objects in it. So let me first explain what is S3 URI. So let me select object. So I'm clicking on copy S3 URL, pasting it. So S3 URI looks like this, S3 colon slash slash and the bucket name. And if we uploaded some objects in it, it will show that the name of an object or data which we have uploaded in that particular bucket. So this is the format of S3 URI and which is used in internal AWS references. So URI stands for unique resource identifier and which is used for configuration policy. So that's what about S3 URI. And the next one is URL. So URL means it is unique resource locator. So it is not public and which is used for accessing files over the internet. So, so here you can see that the format of S3 URL. So it specifies the bucket name, so which I have created earlier, and the object which I have uploaded, and the region. So this is what the URL indicates. So it is a web address that gives you access to an object stored in an S3 bucket. And it can be accessed directly or share files stored in Amazon S3. And now in actions, here you can see the option share with the pre-signed URL. So it is nothing but a temporary link that gives a user to access an S3 object for a specific period of time. And it is also useful when sharing files securely without requiring the recipient to have the AWS credentials. And we will use to share a private PDF file for a limited time period. So that is what pre-signed URL. And here you can see Amazon resource name, which is ARL. So it is a unique identifier for a resource in AWS. So it specifies the location of an S3 bucket or the object which is in the particular bucket. So it is used to access policies and permission to refer to AWS resources. And the next one is bucket versioning. So bucket versioning is means of keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. So it allows to store multiple versions of the same object when versioning is enabled. So here I have disabled the bucket versioning. So if I uh, enable this, it can S3 can retain every version of a file, allowing us to recover the previous version if needed. So it helps to maintain the multiple version of an object, and the main benefit of bucket versioning is to recover from accidental deletes or overwrites. If we store the same data for multiple times, it will overwrite. So that is called bucket versioning. So it will keep the multiple variants of an object in the same bucket, and it can use versioning to preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every object stored in Amazon S3 bucket. And using versioning, we can easily recover from both intended user actions and application failure. So if we have deleted the data accidentally, we can, if versioning is enabled, bucket versioning is enabled, we can retrieve the same data. And next one is tags. So it is a key value pair that you can assign to S3 buckets and objects. So they can help categorize and organize our data for easier management or for billing purpose or also for reporting purposes. So it helps organize and manages resource. So here you can see you can use bucket tags to track storage cost and organize buckets. So it helps to organize the resource and also manage the resources. And next one is the default encryption. So by default SLC S3. So server side encryption in Amazon S3 is enabled by default. So it protects data stored in S3 by converting it into a secure format, and we can be enabled to encrypt files when they are saved. So which is the data at rest. And so in SLC S3, the AWS will manage the encryption, and here you can see dual layer server side encryption, so which encrypts the objects twice using separate keys, and it is the recent one which is introduced by AWS. And the next one is intelligent tiering archive configuration. So it automatically moves data between frequent and infrequent tiers based on the access, and it also saves the cost without sacrificing any performance. So if data is not accessed for 90 days, it will move to Glacier archive. And if data is not accessed for 180 days, it will be the data will be gone into deep archive access. So Glacier will retrieve the data from minutes to it will take hours, and in deep archive the cost is lower compared to Glacier, and it will take hours to retrieve the data. So it shows here that when enabled, intelligent tiering will automatically move objects that haven't accessed for minimum of 90 days, and it will move the data to deep archive access tier when the data has not been accessed for 180 days. So intelligent tiering, it will automatically move the objects between different storage classes based on how often the data is accessed, like helping the reducing the storage cost. So in archive configuration, it will move the older or less frequently used data to cheaper storage class like Glacier Instance Retrieval or Glacier Deep Archive. So which is useful for backup purpose. So in server access logging, it will track who accessed which data and from which place, and it is also useful for auditing purpose or for security or for monitoring, and it records the details of every request which is made to S3 bucket, and so it is mainly for helping the security troubleshooting purpose. And the next one is object lock. So object lock prevents objects from being deleted or changed for a set period of time. And if you enable object lock, it will prevent the accidental deletion and um also prevent the objects, the data, from being accidentally deleted. And we have retention under object lock, and in retention we have two types like governance and compliance. So in governance, users with some specific permission can delete the objects, and in compliance no users can delete it or override. So it will not prevent already existing data. It is for the data which is newly added after enabling the object lock. So in governance mode, the authorized users can still delete or change data if needed. And in compliance mode, no one, not even the administrators can delete or modify the data until the retention period ends. So in retention, it sets a time period during which data cannot be deleted or modified. It supports governance or compliance modes. So in governance mode, users with special permission can override, and in compliance mode, no one can delete until the retention time expires. So the main purpose of object lock is to prevent deletion of files for a specific period of time. And next one is static website hosting. So here you can see use this bucket to host a website or redirect request. So S3 can be used to host static websites like HTML, CSS or JavaScript files. So if you configure the bucket for static website hosting, and then you can access the website through an S3 URL or a custom domain. So it's cost effective for hosting simple websites without needing any web server. So S3 is not just a storage service, it's advanced with features for security and cost saving, and also for management. Okay, thank you.